Capcom! Mega Man, powered up!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Let's Play Mega Man Powered Up Part 2. Today we're going after the last 4 Robot Masters, including 2 new Robot Masters never before seen in any Mega Man game. The first one is Oil Man. Let's talk a little bit about Oil Man. There's no official bio because Mega Man and Base came out before this game, so I'm only going to read what's in his wiki. Oil Man is a maintenance robot made by Dr. Light to be able to produce a special type of oil from the dispenser on his left arm that can work with any machinery. He enjoys oil and believes it's the answer to everything. He has an urban style of speaking, unlike his polar opposite, Time Man. Oil Man has a carefree and reckless attitude similar to that of a stereotypical punk teenager, for example calling Guts Man an old man, and doesn't seem to take many things seriously, even in battle. He enjoys skateboarding, as you'll see, and giving his comrades fill-ups of oil because they're all robots. Get it? Ha 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 ha. His urban appearance is one of the criticisms people had for this game when it initially came out. Because, you know, if you look at Oil Man for a while, then you may start to see that he might have a little bit of blackface going on, which is not good at all. But it's just the way it is. They try to fix it up a little bit in the Archie comics by not giving him those big lips. Instead wears a bandana to cover that up. It's a pretty cool character, but, you know, I get where the criticism comes from. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in, and we have to accept those kinds of criticisms. Despite that, and despite the fucking footholders from Iceman's stage and from later stages that we'll be covering, this is still a fantastic game, and I don't get why it's sold so poorly. Probably had to do with bad advertisement. It probably had to do with the fact that Mega Man is just not quite the popularity powerhouse that, you know, his other Nintendo counterparts are. I know he's technically a Capcom character, but he's not technically the popularity powerhouse of a Mario or a Zelda or any of the main people. Which is a shame because, as you probably saw in Part 1, this is really, really fucking good game. To make some design decisions here that I really enjoy, like the fact that Mega Man can't shoot through walls, but it's counteracted by the fact that the game is designed around that. It's counteracted by the fact that screens aren't all that big and don't have that much stuff going on anyway, so being able to shoot through walls would be pretty fucking pointless in the long run. Or the fact that, like in the later Mega Man games, you can actually switch your weapons with the left and right triggers instead of having to pause the game. You can still pause the game and switch your weapons that way, but you don't have to, which is pretty great. You know, as much as I like Mega Man 9, its devotion to making things feel like it were Mega Man 1 or 2 or 3, mostly 2. I appreciated it, but, you know, some decisions, some things that were changed probably should have stayed changed. Like the fact that you can switch weapons, not just by pausing the game and switching the weapon. You know, that's just a little thing, but probably should have just kept that for even Mega Man 9. All right, maybe you should have. I don't know. That's just me though. Anyway, talking about Oil Man's stage. The gimmick here is all the oil, obviously, and the fact there's a whole bunch of enemies from Fireman's stage around here, which obviously, fire and oil, they don't mix. The good news, though, is that most of the oil slicks that you'll come across in the stage, after these fire enemies throw one fireball into it, the oil dries up, so you can't constantly be on fire with high damage flames. So that's good. They just burn once and then it dries out, and you can go ahead and make your move and advance to the stage after the fire burns. You know? I hope you do. Because we're already done with Oil Man's stage. It's time to move on to the boss himself. Here's a cutscene.
Hey, what'd you come out here for? Don't you got a place near your house for fill-ups?
Oil Man, let's go home.
You for real? Even if that just slipped out, we are still gonna do this. Yeah! It's showtime!
Alright, Oil Man. He's got 2 basic attacks. Yeah, 2 basic attacks. Oil Slider and Critical Oil Slider. Regular Oil Slider is just him shooting those little balls of oil from his buster at you. His critical attack is the Oil Slider secondary ability, which is he slides on oil as if though it was a skateboard. Technically a snowboard, because there's no wheels on it. You can't hit him, obviously, when he's doing a critical attack. Remember, you can't hit any Robot Master when you're doing a critical attack. Oil Man's kind of the exception. You'll see when we use his weakness against him later. But if you're not using his weakness, you can't hit him. If he's using the regular Oil Slider attack, try to stand towards the center of the screen, closer to the wall opposite of where he is. That'll give you enough space to run backwards, dodging the first two balls of oil, and then jumping over the third one, as you see right there, executed perfectly. As Oil Man travels from one side of the screen to another, when he's not doing the critical oil slider thing, he will either do one big hop or 2 little hops. Be aware of that. Well, technically they're not little hops. He either does 1 hop or 2 to get to the other side of the screen. Make sure you run under him at the height of his jump, and that's it. You'll be fine. Oil Man is not that bad, although as you see, I lost quite a bit of health. Part of the reason why Wily 3 is so difficult. I'll get to it. I will fucking get to it. But for now, let's go ahead and get our power, which is the Oil Slider. You'll see that it's basically a combination of both the attacks Oil Man did. You shoot a ball of oil, but then if you run on it, you can actually slide on it as if though it were a snowboard, which is pretty cool and pretty useful. And also very, very difficult to use at times. I'll explain. His weakness is the Firestorm, as you'd expect. Oil Man is the only Robot Master in this game that can actually get hurt during his critical attack. And you'll see it in action. First of all, you can try to lure him into jumping into his own balls of oil, which is pretty cool. Second of all, though, if he were to critical oil slide into one of the burning balls of oil, if you use Firestorm to light up that oil, then he actually gets hurt from it, which is pretty cool. And opens up a whole bunch of possibilities on beating Oil Man in very creative and fast ways. So take advantage of that. Remember, Oil Man takes mega damage just from getting hit by the Firestorm, but if you were to use Firestorm on one of the slicks of oil that he creates with his Oil Slider Buster, then he gets hurt even more, whether he jumps into it or whether he actually slides into it with his critical attack. Moving on to Electman's stage. This is pretty close to how the stage was in the original. Let me talk a little bit about that. Because in part 1 I was going on about how how generally the design of the stage has changed, because there were no fucking there's no fucking footholders and Powered Up. Fuck these things. Fuck the fact they make you jump on 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 of them over bottomless pits or spikes. Fuck that. Anyway, there weren't any footholders in the original stage of Electman back in Mega Man 1. That said, though, the intent of the stage is still present and alive in Mega Man Powered Up. By that I mean, Electman's stage was always a vertical stage, was always a vertical climb up an electric factory. It was that way in the original Mega Man game. It's still that way here in Powered Up. The switch up the level design, though, these screens are pretty much nothing at all like they were in the classic game. The enemies are still the same, and the level traps are still the same. These electric things are the same from the classic Mega Man stage, but they're not laid out in the same way as they were in the classic game. That said, the intent of the design is still there, is still intact, and it's the reason why I love this game. It's not just a direct port of the original Mega Man. You know, if you know the original Mega Man, you're still going to be surprised in a good way at this game. This game feels like a new experience, like a brand new Mega Man game, despite the fact it's just the first one again. That's why I really love this port, and that's why I'm looking forward to, you know, future ports of certain games like the Crash Bandicoot. Sorry, not ports, remakes. Certain remakes of games like the Crash Bandicoot trilogy. I'm looking forward to that a lot, because I hope they take the same lessons that the team that made Mega Man Powered Up did, where make your own game, but keep the spirit and the intent of the design the same as the original, and that's how you make a good game. You know, you do your own thing with the actual layout of the stages, but as long as you keep the intent and the spirit, and it just comes out good. This is a fantastic experience. But here's another cutscene. I'll talk more about that later.
Well done. But you say goodbye here. I might even tell you more about me after I win.
I don't have any reason to fight you, Elect Man. Come on, let's go home.
You'll never blast through my heart with that kind of attitude. It's really too bad. But I'm going to finish you at lightning speed. Energize!
I love Elect Man's attitude. Elect Man's attitude is funny. It's really funny. As is Fireman's. I love that they kept these attitudes for the Archie comics. Anyway, Elect Man is... no, he's pretty tough. No, he's pretty fucking tough for just a Mega Master. He's got 2 attacks. His downgraded Elect Beam that doesn't shoot up or down, just to the direction he's shooting it in. And he has his critical Lightning Storm attack, which sucks. His critical Lightning Storm attack is so fucking brutal. He doesn't do it again in this fight, thank goodness, because I almost died. I didn't do a good job in this first encounter. I do a much better job later on in the rematches, but just do your best to dodge the attacks. Try to get him to destroy the Guts blocks early on, because those things really mess up your flow, running back and forth. Those things really mess up your flow, and you know, they'll cause you to get hurt by the Lightning Storm or his Elect Beam. It's not a good time. Or Thunder Beam, I guess they call it, whatever. His weakness is the Oil Slider, but you can't just use it as normal. You have to literally jump on the Oil Slider and slide into him during the snowboard phase of the Oil Slider. If you don't do that, if you just hit him with the Oil Slider, you know, just the ball of oil, it's going to do like 1 damage to him. You have to hit him while sliding on the Oil Slider. If you don't, then it's not going to work out. Elect Man's weakness is one of the first examples of a cause and effect boss, a type of boss that is very popular in Mega Man 10, where, you know, it's not enough to just hit a boss with the weakness. You have to do something with the weakness first before it actually comes into contact with the boss. Otherwise, it's not going to do enough damage, and you're going to have a bad time, and you're probably going to die. And yeah, that sucks, but that's the way it is. I'm less a fan of it in Mega Man 10, but since it happens so rarely in Mega Man Powered Up, I guess it's okay. Anyway, let's talk about Time Man. Time Man, a robot master created by Dr. Light for use in time travel experiments. However, since his time travel theory had not yet been perfected at the time, Time Man's functions are not complete, and Time Man is consumed by a crippling inferiority complex. As a consequence, he's very obsessive over unnecessary perfection and takes on an overbearing, bossy attitude. There's more, but that's the gist. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Because there's a gimmick to Time Man's station I want to talk about once I find it appropriate to show it off. It's not a gimmick you'd expect either. It's not a time-based gimmick. It's a clock-based gimmick, a grandfather clock-based gimmick, which is kind of weird and kooky, but I like it. It's also a tower-based gimmick. You'll see. It's something that happened in Elect Man 2, but it's more pronounced in Time Man's stage. back to my original discussion. The team that made this game did such a good job making it. No, here's what happens, by the way. There's no bottomless pits in Time Man stage at all. If you see any pits anywhere, they're just gonna lead you back lower into the level. There's none of these pits that you see here are bottomless anyway. If you fall down them, you just fall back lower into the stage and have to work your way back up. Like in a grandfather clock, you gotta work your way back up to the top. That's it. That's the gimmick. I think it's pretty cool. You know, I understand if you don't think it's cool, it's kind of lame to think that's cool. I don't know. I like it. It's unique. Elect Man stage kind of has that too, but it's more pronounced and obvious in Time Man stage, so I just want to talk about it a little bit. Anyway, to my original point about the level design. I love it in this game, you know? This game is almost pitch perfectly designed, minus the fucking footholder sections. Fuck those footholder sections so much. But besides that, you know, they keep the spirit of every single character's level alive. They keep the spirit of every character's boss strategies alive, even with their critical attacks. This game is just the best. And the fact that so few people play it, including myself until I played it for this channel, boggles the mind, because this is so good. But whatever, you know? Whatever. The only way you die in this stage, besides losing all your health by enemies or by level traps, is through the spikes. Again, there's no pit is bottomless, so during that last section, the only threat was having to repeat those jumps again because, you know, you fell to a lower screen and had to work your way back up. There's no threat of bottomless pits, just spikes, just enemies, just traps. This is a fun stage. And now it's over. Stages in this game are pretty short, but they're really, really well designed. I really like this game. A lot. But I'm gonna shut up now because it's cutscene.
Time's up! You're early for your appointment.
Huh? What appointment, Time Man?
Oh, joy. By being early, you've given us an extra 0.3 seconds.
Alright, so on the scale of all the Robot Masters, Time Man's pretty easy. He's the only Robot Master that uses his critical attack in every difficulty mode, including easy mode, and its critical attack is just slowing down time. He slows down time, but he doesn't slow himself down. He still goes at the same speed. His time arrows don't go at the same speed. They slow down too. Sometimes anyway. I know some of them do because he just shoots them slowly. So yeah, I just told a lie. He doesn't slow down, his attacks don't slow down. Only you slow down, so you gotta be careful. Alright? He slows down time, he shoots the time arrows, just keep shooting. Keep shooting with your Mega Buster. Jump and shoot, and he dies. He's got a very, very long invincibility frame after getting hit, which is another one of the reasons why Wily Stage 3 is so difficult. Invincibility frames. Oh shit. Is that going to be a problem when you get to Wily Stage 3? It's not going to be so much of a problem now. It's noticeable when you fight the Robot Masters at the end of every stage, but it's not going to be a problem until you get to Wily Stage 3 on hard mode. Then holy shit is it a problem. Holy shit. But anyway, Time Man's weakness is the Elect Beam. Go ahead, just spam it. Nothing special. Elect Beam works as it always does. Doesn't work the same way for Elect Man himself, but for Mega Man, it still shoots in the direction you shoot it in. Still shoots directly up. Still shoots directly down. It's what you'd expect. And there you go. That's the end of Time Man. Okay. Let's move on to the final Robot Master. Guts Man. The Robot Master Dr. Wily loves so much. I don't know why I'm doing my Brooklyn accent. My sick man's Brooklyn accent. I don't know. It's a lame Brooklyn accent, but I'm doing it. Because I gotta fill up the space that would normally have no dialogue and it's something. Right? Why did I say right? Whatever. Last stage, Guts Man. It's actually pretty easy. Overall, I mean, compared to the bullshit footholders of Iceman and Elect Man's stage, this is pretty easy by comparison, you know? He's actually a Robot Master I'd go after earlier, but I went in weakness order. I mean, my initial playthrough, I didn't use weaknesses for anybody because I wanted to unlock everybody my first go-around in hard mode. But, yeah. If you were playing this game normally, then you'd probably go after Gutsman pretty early on, because his weakness is time slow, but it doesn't work that great against Gutsman. You'll see, both now and during the Wily fight, during the Wily Stage 3 rematch fight, I should say. God, this game's pretty looking. A lot of people don't like the simplistic, kid-like look of this game. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a great idea to make this game look cartoonish and family-friendly, and Mega Man Maverick Hunter X, which released, I believe, the same year as this, and was a remake of Mega Man X, similar to how this was a remake of the original Mega Man. You know, that game be serious and anime-ish, and this one be not so serious and cartoony. I think that was a great call. I really wish they continued making these games, but it didn't sell well. It didn't sell well, which is a shame. But I would have loved to have seen a Mega Man Powered Up 2, Powered Up 3, would have eventually gone to a Mega Man and Base Powered Up. Years would have passed, and eventually we would have had a Mega Man 9 Powered Up and a Mega Man 10 Powered Up. Oh well. 'Twas not to be. We're almost done with the classic series too. You know, I was just looking through the remaining games I had to do before starting this commentary. All we have left is one surprise game, which I'm not going to say what it is, but it is one surprise game, then Mega Man 9, and then Mega Man 10, and then Mega Man Unlimited, because I like that fan game so much and consider it part of the main series. And then one last video explaining every single Mega Man Classic series game that I didn't play. That's all that's left. And that's pretty exciting, because I'm ready to move on to other stuff. But here's the cutscene, because here comes Gutsman.
Guts! Hey, men only! Little boys don't belong here. Go home before you get hurt.
Time to punch out and go home, Gutsman.
You big idiot! What'll happen to me if I get fired? I'm gonna take you down with me. Ready!
You big idiots! I love these voice actors. They do such a good job. Alright. Gutsman. His normal attack is what you'd expect it to be if you played the NES Classic. His critical attack is fucking dangerous. It's probably the most dangerous critical attack. First of all, it lasts a really fucking long time. Basically, Gutsman digs into the ground and comes up 3 times and throws a block at you. The block itself hurts, as you'd expect. It's the fucking contact damage during the critical attack that's really fucking devastating. If you stared idly by for too long, and Gutsman shoots up out of the ground with this block, that hurts way too fucking much. It's devastating. Don't get hurt by it. It sucks because the attack takes so long, too. You have to be on your toes that whole time. Playing perfectly. Who? Part of the reason why Wily Stage 3 is so fucking difficult. Can't wait till we get to it. In hard mode, Gutsman is probably the most difficult robot master to take on. Him and Fireman are tied, honestly. In normal and easy mode, I'd go after him pretty early on because he's not that bad, and his weakness doesn't really do that much against him. But in hard mode, oh god, he's just... his critical attack is so devastating. But he's dead. Oh, thank god. Okay, that's it for Gutsman. Let's talk about his weakness. Yeah, let's talk about his weakness a little bit. The time slow.
You okay?
You only get 2 uses of time slow. And that's not good for this fight. It's not enough to kill Gutsman. I don't think it's even enough to take out half his health. Here's the super arm, by the way, and just, you know, showing it off. As you'd expect, you pick up Guts blocks, you throw them, the end. His time slow, though. Oh, shit. That thing is not good against Gutsman at all. You only have 2 uses. Not enough to kill him. Not enough to even do that much damage to him. Not even enough to do half his health off of him or anything like that. Nope. Just does the regular weakness amount, and cutscene.
Robos are nothing but junk!
How horrible!
You! Dr. Wily, you are a most foul man!
Feeling sorry for yourself, Dr. Light? You're full of regret, aren't you? Well then, come to my fortress, Castle Wily! I've already sent you an invitation. Don't disappoint me.
It's Wily Castle, not Castle Wily. Anyway, Gutsman's weakness, it doesn't do that much against him. You can only hit him. You can't hit him during his critical. It sucks. Blah, blah, blah. The end. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you all in part 3 when we take on Castle Wily. Have a good day. Bye-bye.